Oh my God, I can't believe this is my first ever podcast episode. Welcome to the Premium Gist podcast with Mercy Gift. Okay. My name is Mercy, and if you're listening right now, thank you very much. You're the real MVP. I really appreciate you, like I really do appreciate you. Like you've really, really made my day. You've really made my day. I'm not going to introduce myself too much. As I've said earlier, my name is Mercy because this is a journey. I believe we still have a lot of time to get to know each other and for you guys to know much more about me. For the format of the podcast, I wanted to go like a meal. You know how you have the starter, the main dish, and the dessert. That's the same style this podcast is going to have. I'm going to start by just talking about something significant that have happened to me or just something I've seen online somewhere in the week. Then I'll go on to talk about the actual topic of the podcast. Then after that, I'll just end with something else, like something random, just to give you small, small desserts. So you come to this podcast for a three-course meal. Sure you get. I'm here to spoil you. I'm here to spoil you, really. Absolutely. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not nervous, but obviously this is my first ever episode. It's not going to be the best, but I will figure out everything along the way. I'll get better. So just stick with me, yeah? Stick with me, please. Just stick with me and let us do this together. Anyway, this week, a lot of interesting things have happened to me this week actually. I found a lot of things interesting. But one thing I will talk about is the number of people I've seen online, like low key complaining about couple content. They do it in a funny manner. It's not that deep. It's not that they are complaining or they are angry or sad. It's just this vibe of you see every day, every time I come on Instagram, every time I log on to TikTok, there's one couple doing lovey-dovey stuff, loving each other, romancing each other. And it's like, babes, you gotta tone it down. You guys need to relax. The pressure is getting worse. It's getting worse. We need to dial it down. We need to relax sometimes because there are a lot of single people on this app. We need to think of them. No pressure. Don't make the pressure to be worse. Let us relax. And I was saying as a joke that I think we need to create a new Instagram or like new social media platforms for couples because really and truly, like it's getting out of hand now. Like I'm happy for you, like I'm happy for your love, but like maybe not every day. Maybe not every day. That's what the streets are saying. That's what the people are saying, not me. But that's what I've been seeing online, which is very funny because I agree to some extent, especially if it's coming as a joke or just banter. It's not that deep because we don't be hating over here. We're not haters. We're not haters. We're happy for you. But yeah, that's really, really funny. I saw tons of videos like that. Like, God win. When will it be me? When will my time come? Everywhere I go, there is love. Everyone is in love. Where is mine? When will you answer my prayer, my Lord? Oh, my Lord, when is my own coming? So yeah, that's been very interesting. But on a serious note, I love love. I love seeing people in love. I love people sharing their content within reason, reasonable. Like just write a nice caption about your partner, about whatever. I'll eat it up anyway. Love is don't get it twisted. As our brother the band said, don't get it twisted. Love is a beautiful thing. And if you desire love and you don't have it right now, don't worry. Keep pressing on. Keep working on yourself. Keep, achieving your dreams. Keep being you. God will send you your person. Sooner or later. Just continue. Don't hate on other people. Just continue living life. Somebody's son, somebody's daughter will find you one day. I'm really sure about that. It's going to be your time soon. I really know that from the core of my soul. So yeah, that has been very interesting. I even posted one on my Instagram story. I think it's the video, it's not I think, it's the video of Tony, what's her name? Her name is Tony. Um she posted a video saying she doesn't like look at the potential of men anymore. Like when she wants to date someone, she doesn't look at their potential. She takes them for what they had what they are now. Oh, not the H factor coming through, not the H factor popping through. Oh my god. But anyway, she said she takes people for what they are now, which is valid advice. Don't stress yourself looking at the potential. Forget the potential. What they are now, is it quality enough? What they are now, if they do not change, will you still want to be with them forever? Because even the thing with potential is that you are the only one seeing the potential. What if the potential you are creating for them and you are imagining for them is not what they want? You are the only one creating that potential for yourself. They don't know about it. So that was what she was talking about. And our boyfriend, a partner, Tai, stitched the video and said, "Oh, you don't have to worry about that anymore." And it was just so cute. And I posted it on my story and I said, the pressure is getting worse. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I can't deal, man. Anyway, to what this podcast is about today. Let's move on to the story time of how I got scammed of almost £1,000. Let's get into it. So this story time, yeah. If you're my friend or an acquaintance on some level, you've probably heard me share this story before. And I have even shared it on my Instagram like weeks ago, I think months ago. I wrote it in a text, like a carousel text slides. And a couple people saw it. They laughed at me, they laughed with me, we laughed together. It was a funny story. But anyway, since not a lot of people read it then, I thought I might as well share it for my first ever podcast episode. So in 2017, I had moved to the UK with my family. And the one thing on my mind when I was moving here was to start university. So I was 17. It was few months to my 18th birthday. So I was excited. I was like, yes, when I land in this UK, I'm applying to university and I'm starting my journey because I had planned my life. I had a plan for my life. And the plan was 18, go to university, graduate at 21. After, graduating, get a master's degree. And after a master's degree, get that PhD, baby. Okay? Get that PhD by 25. You should be a doctor, sis. Period. That's what's going to happen. Like, at 25, people should look at me and say, that is Dr. Mercy. And that was it. That was a good plan. That was a very achievable plan because I was an academic babe. I was serious with my studies. My results were always popping. Like, I mean, I had a few moments in secondary school where I failed for some reason, but after a while I picked up back to my original status of being an academic babe. So yeah, that dream, that plan was a reasonable one because I know book. Like I used to take my study. I took my studies seriously. So when I came here, that was the goal, man. Get into uni at 18, and by 25, become that doctor, sis. That's what we're trying to do. Anyway, I got here. Obviously, after a few weeks, I started applying to universities, but then I quickly discovered that based on the fact that I'm coming from Nigeria, I can't just start university. It's either I go to college for A levels or like access to university course, or do a foundation year. Initially, the universities I wanted to go to were not offering foundation year. Like the top universities, the Russell Group, I was really aiming high. You have to dream big in this life. Anyway, but after a while, I changed my mind. I was like, okay, if these universities don't take foundation year, let me go for the other ones that take foundation year. And for my master's degree, I can go to these top Russell Group universities. Like, that's a good dream, isn't it? That's a good plan. So I applied to these universities and they all got back to me and they were like, oh, girl, we've seen your application and you are good. We're going to give you an application ASAP. And I was like, yes, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So they all got back to me and they accepted my application to start a foundation year at a university. I think I applied to Durham. I applied to University of Birmingham. I applied to one other university as well. I think did I apply to Warwick? No, not Warwick. I know Durham, UOB, and one other university. I can't even remember at this point. I did my research. Um, And I was excited. I was like, oh yeah, let's go to uni. I was getting ready. And then they sent me another email. I think it was Durham at this point. And it was like, okay, now it's time to set up your payment plan. How do you want to pay for your fees? That's what they asked me. And my mind was like, wait a minute. Student finance, like, yeah. And they got back to me and they said, no, actually, you can't use student finance because you're an international student. And I was like, hold up, hold up, hold up. What are you talking about? In case you have not heard, I'm British. Like, my passport is British. So what are you talking about? Like, sisinyam, kwa 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 kwa. Breaking news. I am a British. What are you talking about? About international student. That was when they broke it down to me that because I have not lived in the UK for 3 years, I do not qualify for home fees and I need to pay international fees. I was like, nope. I checked the gov.uk website and that was the case. Yes, at that time in 2017, if you have not lived in the UK for 3 years, regardless of what passport you have, you can't get tuition fees and you can't get maintenance loan. You have to pay international fees. To qualify as a home student, you have to have settled and lived in the UK for 3 years. My people, I was devastated. You don't even understand. I was sad. I was sad. I was, hey, it's like, was, child, it was a lot of sadness. I couldn't believe it. It's like I saw my dream, my future, my plan crashing in front of me. I was like, is this what the devil want to do with me? Is this the plan of the devil? This is the plan of the enemy. This is the work of the devil. This is not the God that I serve cannot do this kind of scenario. The God that I the God that I serve the God that I serve cannot do this to me. But anyway, I started thinking the other option was to pay international fees, which is not possible. We had just moved to the UK like just for a couple months, like literally I think it was 4 months at that time. There was no way my family, my parents, there's no way anybody sponsoring me to pay international fees. I think international students pay double of what home student pay in the UK. So it's expensive. Financially, we're not there. And that really made me sad. I was like, so you mean I'm not going to achieve my dream because of money? Then I was like, absolutely not. Not on my watch. We are going to get this student loan by fire, by force. If the government, if Student Finance England does not want to give me loan, I'll go to the bank. I'll go to somewhere else to get this money. One thing about me, I'ma go to uni at 18. My mates cannot be going to university and I will not sit at home for 3 years not doing anything. That is not possible. I said it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. I need to go to university. So, what was the plan I came up with? I decided that I was going to apply for private loans. And I saw a couple website. I saw Future Finance. I think Future Finance is like a legit student finance company, and they were asking for a guarantor. I was like, "What's which one is guarantor? We don't have time for that." I started looking for companies that didn't require guarantors. So I applied to a bunch of places. I think then I wanted £58,000. £58,000, and my plan was to start paying it back after uni. I think after 4 years, after 3 years, £58,000 to cover my tuition fees and my. Oh, thinking about it, all I can do is laugh, man. To cover my tuition fees and my rent and food and everything, my student accommodation, so I can just focus on my degree. So I applied to a bunch of places. I couldn't even keep track. And on a fateful day, on a fateful Friday, I got a phone call from an unknown number. I picked it up and it says, congratulations, madam. Your loan of £58,000 have been approved and we will release the funds to your bank account on Monday. I just wanted to call you today so that you can be happy and you can prepare your mind to receive the funds on Monday. I was over the moon. I was like, My God is good. My God is good. My God is good. He's so good. My God is good. He's so good. My God is good. He is so good. My God is good. My God never fail. It reminds it reminds me of that sound of that video of Josh True Funny that said, "My God never fail. My God never flop. My God never wear flip flops." Nah, I'm screaming. I'm screaming. I'm screaming, man. Anyway, I was excited. This was on a Friday. My weekend was late. I was like, yes. By the way, I didn't tell anybody about this. I didn't tell anybody about me applying for private loans. I didn't tell anybody. I was just going to get the funds, apply to university, and now tell people. That's how I usually move. I still do that anyway. Like when I'm trying to do stuff, I do it first before telling people, which is good most of the times and sometimes not so good, you know? So, yeah, I was excited. I enjoyed my weekend. I was like, yeah, someone is about to land on my account. And that's on what? That's on period. Monday comes now. I get a phone call. I was like, yes, they're calling me. And they were like, Madam, congratulations once again. Before we release the funds today, you have to pay an insurance fee of £400 into our account so that we can secure the funds. They said it was insurance fees. And I kid you not, at that moment, I didn't even think twice. I was like, oh, okay, why not? Yeah. They sent over their bank details and I paid £400. Now, as a vigilant somebody, as somebody that is wise and sensible and not gullible, I should have known that it was a scam because the bank account they gave me had a Yoruba name. Femi something. I think Adebayo or Tunji something. I can't remember the specific name. Actually, if I go through my bank details, I can find I'm very sure if I go back to 2017, my bank transaction, bank statement, I'll find it there. This was a Yoruba name, but it didn't. I think I mentioned it to them and they were like, oh, yeah, that's one of our consultants or something, our insurance manager or something. Don't worry about it. I was like, yeah. I paid the £400 and they were like, oh, okay, madam, we're now going to process the insurance and release the funds tomorrow. And that will be Tuesday. Remember, they first called me on Friday, promised to release the funds on Monday. On Monday, they called me to pay £400. I paid. And now the funds will be released on Tuesday. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'll be expecting the funds in my account on Tuesday. The call ended and I was still excited. I was like, yes, I'm finna get this money. I'm finna get this money. I'm finna get this money. So Tuesday comes, I'm awake, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to get this money. I get another phone call from this same person. And they were like, Madam, congratulations. It's the congratulations for me. Madam, congratulations once again. My manager just let me know that we also need to pay for tax. So you paid the insurance fees yesterday, but you need to pay £500 more for tax because we'll be loaning you £58,000 for 3 years and you don't have to pay back after 3 years. That's a lot of money and we need to secure it with insurance and tax fee. That was where I flipped. I was angry. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're telling me, you told me you're going to release the fund on Monday. Now you're telling me to pay another £500. I don't have any money. Please send me back my £300. I'm not interested again. I was angry at this point. I was starting to suspect that they might actually be scammers. I was like, yeah, give me back my money. And the guy on the phone told me to calm down, that he's going to refer me to his manager. Then he gave the phone to the manager. Apparently, that's what he said. To me, the voice changed, Sha. So, and the manager was like, Madam, let me assure you, this is the policy of the company, blah, 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 blah. So they gave me a bank account. They were able to convince me and dwindle me, take me for idiot. And yeah, I was ready to pay the £500 after they convinced me. And this time around, it was like a proper business bank account. I was ready to pay, but for some reason, the bank kept rejecting that account, saying that are you sure you want to pay this account? They did it twice. And I told them that, by the way, all this while they were staying on the phone with me, like they were literally like, yeah, we'll stay on the call with you and call the bank accounts. So they were like really pestering me. But obviously I was desperate. I was desperate for the money. Oh, that was it. That was why they could get me. I was desperate for the money. I wanted to die for cash. People say don't die for cash, don't die for other stuff, but I was ready to die for cash. I was ready to die for uni. I was like, this university must see me. This is my dream. I must see this university this year. So I was really desperate. So because I was desperate, I couldn't see the red flags, right? This time around, there was like, no worry, madam. No worry, madam. I can't even fake the accent. No worry, madam. There's a Western Union not far from you. Can you go there and pick? No, it's also not even a West Union. Can you go to a post office? There's a shop. Yeah, there's a shop around your house. Can you pick up a Western Union form? And I was like, Western Union. Okay, I was like, okay, at this point, I was just over it. I picked up the Western Union form. By the way, they were still on the phone with me. They didn't hang up. They were like, don't worry, we'll stay with you. And I was like, I don't know how to fill the form. Should I ask for help? They were like, no, 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 don't ask anybody for help. We are going to tell you how to do it. Don't worry. Another red flag. And they said, I was about to put the like, where am I sending this money to? And it says India. That was when I was like, why are we sending this money to India? This is a UK company. Number one, the first money I sent was to a Nigerian name, right? The person speaking on the phone with me has a different accent, not a UK accent, which is not a big deal, right? But the things were not matching. Things were not looking okay. It was looking suspicious. It was at this point that I started to clock things. Why am I sending this money to India if you are a UK company, UK student, private student finance company? Why am I sending this money to India? And they gave me another name, obviously, that was Indian as well. I was like, I don't feel comfortable sending this money. You're a UK company. And they tried to say, oh, no, it's another consultant for tax. I was like, no, your consultant should be in the UK. That was when I clocked the were scammers and I went off. I was like, oh, you guys are scammers. Send me back my £400. I'm just so happy that I didn't send the £500. Like, at least they only took £400. At least. But at this point, I was like, yes, I was angry. I was shouting at them. I will report you to the police. Give me back my thing. If you don't send this back my £400, God will do this. The thunder of God. Hey, I was really giving them, God will destroy you. God will destroy you and your business. You, these people. Hey, I was really angry. Of course, I was angry. And yeah, they hung up. And yeah, I never heard from them again. And at that time, I had no idea that I can actually go back to my bank and retrieve my money and tell them I was scammed and the bank will be able to get it back for me because it was still early. Like I sent the £400 on Monday. I realized they were scammers on Tuesday. I could have gone to the bank on Wednesday and they could still do something. I didn't realize because obviously I just went into a slope of sadness and disappointment, heartbroken, because not only was my dream of going to university not going to happen, in the process of me trying to force it, I've gotten scammed as well. £400. Yeah, that was sad. I was unhappy. Nah, that one hit me hard. I cried. Did I cry? Yeah, I think I did. Of course, I cry because I barely cry. Like I usually don't cry, except if I'm watching like an emotional film, an emotional video, or if I'm watching someone else cry. On normal day, I don't be crying. When things go wrong, I just go to sleep. Innit? I just go to sleep. But yeah, I cried that day. I was unhappy. Yeah, yeah, and that's the story. And after that time, after this incident, I just calmed down. All the stress, all the hyperness, all the struggle, the also bustle I was trying to do, I must go to university. I just relaxed and calmed down. And I said to myself, university is not a do or die. Instead of me to die, I'd rather stay with my innocent self here and work and wait for 3 years. And when it's time, I'll go to university. And that's what I did. My university situation really taught me a lot of lessons about life and about setting goals and about just, yeah, it has really changed me and transformed the way I set goals and the way I view my journey through life. Because the majority of my disappointment, the majority of my also and bustle to force myself to go to university instead of waiting was because I had a plan. And if I say I want to do something, that's exactly how it's going to happen. If I'm waiting for 3 years, that means I'll be going to university at 21. Then I'll graduate university at 24. Then if I want to do masters, I'll do masters. I'll finish my masters at 26. Then let's say I spend like 4 years on my PhD, then I'll finish at 30. That was not the plan. My plan was to be a doctor at 25. I can't be doing that at 30. It's not given. But this situation really changed things for me because I now set goals in a more graceful, non-fixated manner. Maybe some other time I'll share my the lessons I've learned. In the next episode, I'll actually do that because my next episode is about turning 23 and my expectations and realities and just the lessons I've learned, the key principles I now use to navigate life and adulthood in general, because adulting is a scam. We already know that. We all know that. So yeah, anyway, that's the end of my story. I got scammed of almost £1,000. I hope you enjoyed this story time. And I want you to tell me, have you ever been scammed? And if yes, tell me the story. I want to read your story. And I'm going to react to a couple of them at the start of the next episode. I'm just going to pick a couple ones and react to them. So drop your comment. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening via any platform that allow comments, drop them. And if you want to email them to me, email your stories to contact@premiumgistpodcast.com. I'll say that again, contact@premiumgistpodcast.com. I'll be excited to read your stories and we'll react to them together. Let's laugh together, because if we don't laugh, we'll cry, innit? So yeah, that's the end of today's episode. I'm going to see you in the next one. I don't have any dessert for today, actually. As I said, I said earlier that there's going to be a starter, the main dish, and the dessert, but no dessert today. Hopefully, as time goes on, as I figure out how to do this podcasting thing properly, I'll have more to talk to you about. Okay, so I'm going to see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. You have really made my day. See you in the next one. Bye.